Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of It Pricked. It's a rose by yours truly, none other than Doris Wanyagia. So today's episode, I have a nice lady who is a creative, a poet, a writer, and many more that she will get the chance to tell us about. So drum rolls, I give you Ruth. Please introduce yourself.
Wow. My name is Ruth Mwanza, and I go by simply Mwanza on Instagram and my blog. So, I am a lot of things. So, but mostly creative. Everything else comes after creative.
Okay, tell us everything else that comes after creative.
Okay, so I am a writer. I am a poet. I am a blogger, and as I said, I think I'm creative. I think I can call myself a creative because I feel like my brain works in ways that I would say is pretty cool.
Okay. Now, Miss Ruth Mwanza, please do me a favor and introduce yourself without what you do,
Uh-huh.
without what you've studied, without where you come from. Who is Ruth without all that facade?
Yeah, I call myself human most of the time, or pretty much. I have written a poem that the uh, title is I am daughter of earth, because everything I am is something that grounds me. I am, you see the way religion, people say that we all came from Adam. So God, and then Adam, and then everything else. So I am a part of that creation. I at the same time as I am a speck in the dust. But sometimes that speck in the dust is the reason there are sandstorms in Egypt. So very insignificant, but with the potential to be very significant, because if there was if iso particles that say Mount Everest, if each of them just said I am useless, then there will never be any hill. So yeah, I am an important part of God's creation.
Oh wow, this is the first person, actually the first person that has not fumbled with that question.
Ah,
Oh, yeah,
you are
like
welcome.
like you
It's
really
self-work.
have a definition that is ready in you. You're not even thinking of it. You have it here. You're
Yeah,
just waiting, like, oh, bring it on, guys, bring it on. I mean, you listen to me.
not really. I just I have I asked myself that question a lot in the last 3 years. So you one day you tell yourself I'm a writer, and then you realize when you don't have a pen or a laptop, you can't be a writer, because now you can't write.
Yeah.
So now, in that moment of nothingness, what are you?
Oh wow, that's amazing. Okay, so in today's episode, I have Ruth with me here so that we can talk about purpose. Like, that speck of dust in Mount Everest is there for a certain reason. Its purpose is to build part of Mount Everest. That without a certain particle and a certain and a certain and a certain, Mount Everest will not be there. So each particle has the responsibility of like just living and being there so that Mount Everest exists.
Just exist for the purpose of existing.
Yeah. So now that brings us back to purpose. So today we're going to be talking about purpose in this episode, and yeah, I have the privilege of like hosting you. Feel very much at home. You're welcome.
I have felt quite at home.
Oh wow! Oh, I'm
Guys have
happy.
been given food. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah. So I think we can start our episode. So for me, I define purpose as the reason of living. I define purpose as the thing that ensures that every other day of my life I'm up. And even though I might feel like I don't want to be up, I'm up because I have something I should be doing that without me, that thing can't be done.
Yeah.
That's my definition of purpose. Yours?
I will say purpose to me is what comes easy to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people say you're talented, you're good at singing,
Mm-hmm.
but your purpose is probably to just sing, and whatever that takes you, is it the Grammys? They're just so spiritual, like Christina Shusho, and it gives you $1 million concert. As in, whatever comes easy to you, that is like, to that stone, whatever came easy, it's the structure that it's a stone, and it holds that hill together. What comes easy, if to me, I have been writing since I don't since I think 14.
Oh wow. You're now?
Yeah, 26.
Oh wow. That's quite a lot of time. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so it's what I was listening to another podcast, and that person said it's what distracts you from doing what you think you're supposed to do. So, say from when we were in school, those people who are always at music fest, and it made them happier than class.
School.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so whatever it is that used to distract you from whatever it is you thought you're supposed to do, whatever comes easy to you, I think that is what you are like, whatever it is you are best at, good at,
Mm-hmm.
that is probably your purpose.
Okay, but then I think I don't disagree. I actually very much agree. But what happens to the guys who have a lot of things that come easy to them?
Well, I am one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, personally, I will say I can do I am good at many things. So, but writing currently, I can say writing is easier, because the other things that I would want to do, they would have to grow from me succeeding in writing, or not say succeeding in writing, but going a step further. So let's say you are a good, you can, for example, like you are a firstborn, so you're good at managing things. You know, you can be a manager, $1 million manager, because that comes easy to you. But part time, you just go there, church, sing, and everyone worships when you sing. So just, it depends on where you can do it and where it makes the most impact.
Okay, okay, okay. Would you say you've already like found your purpose as a person? Because for me, I think, let me see, what comes easy to me? What comes easy to me? Oh my God. I think I also have a lot of things that come easy to me. I think podcasting comes easy to me, but would I really call it my calling?
It depends with what will that podcasting do.
For me?
Not even for you necessarily, but for your experience as a human being, for what people will experience you as a human being, like, let's make it's it's never about you. At the end of the day, like, we are a speck, so uh, there's bigger impact if it depends on how it impacts the world as a whole, more than yourself. Because if you like money and now you're just going in banks and shooting people, yes, you're a go-getter, you're getting the money, but what is the greater
Yeah,
good?
yeah. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So, like, have you found your purpose? Like, do you know, like, this is my purpose?
I feel like, I feel like my purpose is healing the people I can heal, improving people's lives in ways I can, and, just, and but not be nice about it ish sometimes, because my blogs are not the nicest. I don't cuddle, except with men, but I don't. Yeah, I am straightforward, so um and I express things the way they come to me.
Yeah.
So I hope that with expressing what I have experienced, I can heal someone, I can change someone's life. Like, say there's this day I posted another post on grief, and there's this friend of mine, and she commented and she said that just immediately 10 minutes before, someone had dismissed her grief, like ile yenye unakuja unaambia, when someone dies and you don't want to be a party pooper all the time.
Yeah.
So eventually people start telling you move on, don't talk about it so much. Yeah, so the moment people start telling you, like, they don't get it.
Yeah.
So me writing that blog that day and making her feel seen, making her feel understood, making her feel like she's not alone in whatever it is she's going through, and actually making her feel better about that situation. I think that's what I'm here to do.
So that's your definition of like healing people in the world. I've like gotten the privilege of like to read some of your pieces. I read, like, I can like remember one randomly about God. You had started off like you're not a believer, then you went inside, you're
I
oh,
said that I am a believer, but I don't believe everything.
then you went inside, you were like, oh no, but we exist because
Yeah.
like I get that, like, in order to sit down and write a piece after another, there's something deeper and greater you think about. So what impacts your thought process towards your pieces, like keeps you like, wow, I have this thing, I have to write it.
When you were in class 1 and you thought that you didn't know anything when you were in nursery, it's the same thing. There's a never-ending amount of topics to talk about, first of all. But then, lately, I have realized that sometimes there's things I write that I didn't know I would write. Do it make sense?
Yeah.
The fact that I say words come easy to me, I mean that when I give you a topic and if we come up with a topic, like, say, what is business, and you're supposed to write about it, the majority will either go in the business and give you that, or someone else can even give you, so say, for example, what is business. I could write a topic and just write something like, why are people so unhappy in this world? Were we offered the wrong business? It's still
Like
business.
it's still business.
Yeah, but it's like another angle that you've never thought about. And lately I'm starting to think, it's weird when I say this. I'm listening to myself and I'm thinking this is weird, but I am God's vessel.
And why is it weird?
It's weird. No, it's weird because I never thought I'd say that out loud. Like, I thought I'm smart, so I'm intelligent, so I don't know, I just do this. Yeah, but then I wrote a poem, I think, a week ago, and the name was The Web, because I realized that each time I tackle a different topic, I don't end up with what I thought I was writing when I was beginning the blog or the poem or the whatever it is I am writing. Like, unless it is well structured and I already pre-wrote it, if it's something that I just talked about or I had it somewhere, and then I just came with a question like, what is business? And then I end up asking myself questions like, we were all sold the wrong business because we were told to do all these things and then we will all be given 9 to 5s, but now we are unemployed and sad and social media is taking a toll on us. That is still business.
It is.
Yeah, so I think
your thought process is inspired by being a God vessel.
I like to think that.
It's okay. It's very much okay. So like I get the scope of writing the way, like, I used to write, and I loved the metaphorical way of writing. So I have this love-hate relationship with my blog, whereby it's not a love-hate relationship, but it's a weird relationship because I would only visit my blog when I'm at my lowest or when I'm at my highest. In the middle, I literally never visit it. So when I'm feeling low, I'll come write a fire piece.
I know.
Yeah, like
At 3 a.m.
when I'm crying, I'm lying in tears. They say no.
God,
And
why
then
is life like this?
and publish it.
Yes.
And publish it. You know, WordPress is so easy. Like you
Uh.
just enter, you type, you like proofread by yourself, then you publish. But then now, years later, I usually revisit my blogs and I'm like, yo, this was fire. This was a nice piece. But I know, like, when I read the blog, I can actually remember the moment and know what had hurt me
Exactly. It's
or,
like you're sitting in that moment again.
yeah, or what had excited me. And it's weird that, you know, like, we take creativity as an escape because I believe I'm talented in writing, but I refuse to exploit.
Why? Are you scared of yourself?
No, I'm not scared of myself. I just have a lot of excuses of a lot of other things I'm doing as to
Okay.
why I'm not writing. Probably it's an excuse because if I wanted to, I can't lack 15 minutes of my time in a day to write. But I understand how writing like takes a turmoil of your inner scope, your inner self, and you express yourself. So, as I was saying, I used to write the metaphorical kind of way, whereby you'll hurt me. I promise you'll exist in my blog, but even if you read that piece, you won't know it was you.
That's how everyone writes most of the time.
Yeah, so I had this nice language. To a point, it pricked its arose emerged in a time where I used to be in WordPress because I would associate the name with, you see how a rose
Yeah.
has thorns.
It's looking so nice.
Yeah.
But it pricks.
Yeah, looking so nice, but it pricks if you hold it badly. So yeah, it pricks. It's a rose. But it's also life. Yeah, like if you don't hold it badly, it's so beautiful to see.
Yeah.
And that was a very beautiful time of my life. And I'd love to know how it feels like and it looks like now having writing as an everyday of your life.
I don't know. I write how I think. I write how I talk. So right now, when I get home, I'll just write. So I was with this and this, and this happened. Like I express myself so openly that I feel like people are not scared of me if I make sense. Like I just say it how it is, but then I think I'm a little poetic and a little funny, so those two merge. And
What's your like creative scope? What aspects do you explore in terms of writing? Like, yes, you've mentioned you're like every kind of person, but there are those kind of topics where you excel in because like there's that thing
Yeah, I
with being
know.
a creative.
so I started my blog in 2021 because I used to chill with this friend of mine, and every time we used to have a conversation, he used to tell me, Ruth, do you know I learn something from you every time we meet? And I was like, what do you mean? You just told me this, and I never knew it, and I think it's valuable to my life, or I think it will be very nice if a lot of people had this information. So that is why I started. I started with I was trying self-development, but then I realized I'm no guru and I fuck up a little too many times in a year. So um, I, I do mostly social commentary on everything to do with human behavior. Like, why are you the way you are? Why am I the way I am? God, explain yourself. Like, why does where do science and religion meet? As in, it's basically growing up the smart child, or at least not even the per se, but I like researching, so I like knowing things. So automatically, when I come across something that I think is valuable when I'm having a conversation with someone, I could mention it. So that is how my blog started, talking to that guy and then telling me he picks something from me each time. And then I was like, see, this whole world can pick something from my brain then. Yeah. And then now intertwined with how easy it is for me to write, then came up Simply Mwanza.
Okay, wow, that's fantastic. What do you do professionally? Like, okay, not what do you do professionally. What have you studied professionally?
Bachelor of Science in Geology.
Geology. So, like a typical person who has studied that is supposed to do what in the world?
A few too many things that a lot of Kenyans can't afford. So basically, geology is earth engineering. So we are the people who tell you when there's tsunamis, earthquakes. We are supposed to be there during construction like architects, and we're supposed to be paid 10% because, you see, the reason why Kenyans things happen like at a house sunk, if they had a geologist, that would have never happened because we would have come there with our machines, taken the test, and told you where here below you the water table is too close and you will sink in 10, 15 years. So it's supposed to be everywhere, and boreholes, hydrogeology, geothermal, generation of power.
Oh,
so
wow.
everything, mapping. So in third year and fourth year we did mapping. So each time the map is updated because the way Ngong Road is looking right now is not the same way it was looking 10 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so once every maybe decade, the map is redrawn. Geologists.
Oh, wow. So have you ever like practiced what you studied?
No,
Would you love to practice what you studied?
I would love to do it from my scope,
Which is?
which is as a researcher more than there, kwa ground.
Oh, okay.
Like just behind a laptop the way I live.
It's okay, it's okay. Now I want to give you something random. You're a poet, sindio,
Yeah.
a creative,
Yes.
sindio, and a writer. Give us a 5-liner poem. Freestyle.
Freestyle. So I will talk about something I have never talked about. So recently I checked out a piece and they had a portrayal of an image. It was an African image. They were happy under the trees. They were happy. They had mangoes. They didn't have malls, but they had something to eat. They were happy. They didn't have phones, but they had horns so they could blow them. And maybe they were blowing kisses, we will never know. But that's it, they were blowing something, and it was nice. They were not blowing up phones though. It was an African story, and she was by the river, and he came. They say they stole them, but did they not just steal her heart?
Oh, wow. That's so nice. Like, that's so random, sindio? It's random. It's a
Never
random
thought
piece.
about it, never written it.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's so nice. Oh, wow. Let me try. See if I still have the writing spark in me. She thought she would ride down the lane. 5 years later, the lane is still there. She's not riding, only driving. A Ferrari in a Ferrari wheel. Oh no, it's not a vehicle. She just has something in her hand in a Ferrari wheel. But she hopes one day she gets a Ferrari and she can drive in the lane that leads to her mom.
Wow.
Yangu-
I was waiting for that last lane for driving. I knew it will come.
You need to
I
come.
saw it coming.
You say it come. Oh my god. Okay. So I want to understand, like, what keeps you going in writing, in, like, art is complicated, because at the end of the day you want, like, you can't eat art.
Yeah.
You need
Can't
to
eat
eat
words.
money. Like, money needs to provide what you're eating. How do you make it make sense for you? How do you ensure that your art indeed does make sense for you, that if it's writing the blog, it pays you, or just ensures that you have a plate at your table?
Well, currently in Kenya, not very many people can have a meal from creative writing, especially because writing is not a thing. When you go and tell your parents, I'm an author, they'd be like, an author? Jesus is the only author who wrote the Bible. What are you writing? What are people like? They don't see the value to whatever it is you're offering.
Yeah.
And growing up, I used to write people, love letters. Those ones they sent to boyfriends.
Oh wow, you were one of those girls in
Yeah.
high school.
Bad handwriting, but good words. So you will go and take to the handwriting person to fix it. Yeah, but sasa it's people think you're just doing a nice thing. They don't know what it takes to write. They don't know it drains you. They don't know there's a time I can, like, in a month, not written anything, can't write anything. You will ask me what is a book. I can't even Google it. Like, my brain is just shut and nothing else. And sasa you get what people call creative frustration or something. You don't understand that you need to rest so that you can work. So people thinking that it's a nice thing, it's a nice gesture. You do it for people, you give them a gift of a poem. They don't know how much time you took to write it, what it took from you, because when you write specific to a specific audience. You're talking to a specific person.
Yeah.
So putting yourself in that situation and coming up with words that people will comprehend and understand exactly what is happening. If it's poetry, helping them understand what they're feeling. Because poetry, if you don't make someone feel anything, then it's not poetry.
It's not poetry. Like, we have to be like, oh wow, that one.
Yeah, they either want to feel so or they want to cry or be so happy. It's even hard to have a conversation with someone and they spark any emotion in you. But people expect you even convince them to read. Do you know how much people don't like reading?
Yeah.
You have to convince them to read and then make them feel something while doing it. It's not easy.
What do you love most about writing? Like, what is that keeps you at it every day, every time?
Keeps me at it. I know for a fact in the next 10 years it will be one of the biggest things. Like, you see the way right now Instagram content creation, nice photos. We like, not we are going to go past it, but people are going to start to appreciate digital art very soon. So even very soon you're going to start seeing artists who have digital pieces of art, like, not necessarily like the ones that you can display on, like, your TV and it looks like art. In the next 10 years, digital art is what is going to be selling the most. And there's New York's bestseller. Maybe there will be Nairobi's bestseller very soon.
Wow. Yeah,
Africa's bestseller. I want to be on that list
You
when the list
definitely
comes.
will get. Now, there is a lot, like, that goes into writing and ensuring that you have, like, an authentic piece. How do you keep your pieces like a representation of you? How do you keep your pieces as beautiful as the last one and as excellent as the next one? Like, how do you invest in them?
Personally, I would say that I believe that if I write something today, it will be as good as whatever it is in that moment. It might not be good today, but it might be good 2 years from now. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The way writers, we write our feelings, and then when you will, if you will not publish it, you will come read it another time, and you'll be like, okay, I'm not feeling that vulnerable, so like I can post it, but I will not feel sensitive about it.
Yeah.
So each time I made a pact with myself. First of all, I know I am good at this, so whether I write a shit piece today, I will never write shit pieces every day. So every day I take at least 20 minutes. Just write whatever. Even if I'll write, my name is Ruth. Today don't feel like writing. So we are like exactly as I've said it. So the practice has made me so good that I am very sure, even if tomorrow's space will not be better than today's, in a week's time, I might write a post that might blow up the roof. So
That's awesome.
Time.
Time, like give it time. Now, with social media, there's like the increase of digital content, whereby our concentration spans is now reduced to like 5%. In fact, not 5%, like 30 seconds with TikTok and everything. In fact, most of the guys are like, are like, yo guys, don't concentrate on blogs a lot, because the concentration of a span of people is shifting. How are you planning to ensure that your art remains on top, even if like Google does not push SEOs like as it used to be? Even if you struggle, they were saying there's like a blog for every 78.1 billion people. Like I listened to something like that on TikTok.
Yeah,
like
there are like
there's
60 or 80 million blogs in the world, I think.
Yeah. So, how do you like ensure you're investing in your art for it to remain relevant, so that whatever happens, it still will shine through?
So you see, first of all, there are like 8 billion, is it 8 billion people in the world? And almost 80% have phones. And then at least almost 300 million people read a blog every day. Trust me, I am good enough to be a part of those 300 million people. That's usually what I tell myself. Kwa hawa watu 300 million siwezi kosa watu.
Kwa hizo zenye tutasoma yako pia.
Among the, like you see, like your podcast, there are very many podcasts, but you are talking to someone, you know why you started this, and whoever that person is, you will find them among the number of people who listen to podcasts. Your audience is there.
Do you feel like your purpose is intertwined with what you do? Like, do you feel like you have it in the pieces that you do?
Yes, that is exactly why I write. I would have stopped by now, but like you have heard that story I told you about that friend of mine who texted me, like didn't text me per se, but commented on that blog. That day, I woke up in the morning. I had scheduled it, so I didn't have to think about it, or like I just had to wake up and peep at my laptop and confirm that it's published. So that day it was a very shitty, like you first of all you sleep late, so you're already grumpy in the morning, you don't even feel like anything, you like writing, but then that morning you're just like, what do you mean pen? I don't want to see even a laptop or a book. And then when it was published at 10 a.m. and said I don't even get enough views first of all, so I was like, if I don't get enough views and I'm just doing this thing for free and it is taking from me, like it's like pot imetoboka
haijai inatoa tu.
So that day I was like, maybe I'm not doing this anymore. And then at around 10:30 that comment came back. Niliamka, nikaenda nikakaa chini na nikaanza kuandika.
It reminded you why you do what you do.
And I was like, I am not writing for myself. I am writing for that one person. That one, I don't care about the rest of the. I'm writing for that one person that I will talk to with that blog.
Okay, I get that. And like for me, I've come to accept that you see the things that you find yourself doing, don't overstretch in search of purpose. Ati, hey, me I'm looking for my purpose.
Si lazima ikuwe cool.
Si lazima ifanane na watu wengine, si lazima ikuwe kitu different, si lazima ikuwe kitu out of the ordinary. Just don't struggle ati, hey, me I'm trying to get my purpose, I'm looking for my purpose, I'm trying to get what I'm good at. What do you do? Just answer the question. What do you do in your daily life?
Have you seen that meme? Yeah. I want to start resenting money so that it can come back to me.
Really?
It's exactly the same thing. The moment you ni kama when something inakusumbua kwa akili. The more you tell yourself, don't think about it, the more you think about it, you think about it. Yes. So the more you stress yourself about purpose, the more it creates resistance.
Yes.
Because now in a field we are looking for money. So we are looking for money. And then there's no money. You're just like, why? What is happening?
Yeah. But then there are easy people who are like, me, I'm not even looking.
Even those people with baby hairs, they don't care about their hair at all.
Even those people with good hair, like literally, you're like, oh they're like,
I braided it 2 months ago. What do you mean?
Yes.
My hair could never.
Yeah. So, like it's a thing. So I'm telling myself, like, don't oversearch, like, don't overstretch. Ati, you're struggling
it's
every
right
day.
here. It's usually it's
just
right in front of your
question.
eyes.
Like, what do you do?
What are you good at? What do you do that touches other people?
Yeah. What do you do that you enjoy? And whatever you find out that, hey, me enyewe, I enjoy cooking for people, then you're like, oh wow, I think my purpose is to heal people through food.
Exactly.
Like it's...
there are people who cook good food, like you feel their soul in the food.
Yes.
And there are people, they will cook the best with everything, but you're just like,
they'll put every spice on this planet. So I'm here telling myself that whatever I enjoy doing, I should continue enjoying those things to savor like every inch and moment of the things I enjoy doing, because that is what I define as my purpose. Like there are a lot of things we might want to like overstretch. What is your purpose? Oh, I don't know. Like whatever I enjoy doing, let me just enjoy it and do it to my level best. That will make my heart happy.
Yeah, that is actually it. Because if you're not enjoying it, the vibes will show.
Yeah.
The people will know.
Yeah.
So you will not touch the world if you're not enjoying yourself, if you're not doing it by heart.
Yeah. Please give us a parting shot.
Parting shots. simplymwanza.com. If you want to check out my blog, I talk about everything from the nastiest things to the godliest things. So check me out. And Instagram, Simply Mwanza.
Okay. My parting shot is very simple. Do you know Heal the World by Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Tuimbe. 1, 2, 3, go. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire race. There are people dying. If we care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. And you and for me. That has
Healing
been
the world.
that has been me, Miss Doru Sanyagia of It Pricked, It's a Rose with Miss Ruth Mwanza. Until next episode, bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.